Futility by Wilfred Owen. Discussing the title again, you've got an absolutely perfect encapsulation of what this poem talks about, really. It's the futility of trying to save somebody who is beyond hope. And it's perhaps a subtler condemnation of World War I, the futility of a conflict where so many thousands of lives were lost for very little end in terms of gaining ground, in terms of resolving things, in terms of getting peace. It was a very awfully destructive war for 4 years, which resulted in 15 million dead and 20 million injured. And Wilfred Owen, I think, really tries to evoke what that would have felt like being a part of that. So what is it about? It's about a band of brothers, if you will, a group of comrades moving one of their number into the sun to try and revive him in a last-ditch desperate attempt to try and revive this person, to help him, even though ultimately it's going to be futile. Perhaps in a sense it's trying to give this man some dignity before he passes on, in a similar way to how Mametz Wood. In Mametz Wood we have these soldiers who are given dignity by being buried arm in arm, linked arm in arm. So the repeated idea of this is that this person is, if not still alive, still resembles someone who is alive. Death hasn't yet taken them. He still has colour to his cheeks. He still, actually, is warm. It's a very, very interesting idea that this person has very recently just passed, or is about to pass, has been moved into the sun. Now, the tone, or futility, in a sense, can be taken to be an accusation. This war is futile. What's happening here is futile. But actually it's an extremely mournful poem, because we've got this description of a young soldier. Well, I take it he's young. Maybe not. Maybe that's me putting my own particular spin on it. Well, we have a soldier nonetheless who is passing away. It's very mournful. We're marking his life in this by reading about how he's died. Individual words. Well, obviously, I think you can go for futility, as I've said for the title, but it would be good to have another one, really. I like to think about some of the figurative language that's in here, the images that we're presented with. Now, the beginning 3 sentences are very important, and see if you can spot the term that I'm going to use before I say. Move him into the sun. Gently its touch awoke him once, at home, whispering of fields half sown. I'm going to go for half sown there. Half sown, half planted. The idea of fields that were half grown. And I really think that this is a young soldier, because he himself is half grown, and he's had his life cut short, tragically and dramatically cut short, because he's a soldier. So that individual word, half sown, is maybe a microcosm of this whole conflict, and anyone who died in this conflict, this idea that people were cut off quite literally in their prime. So, alliteration. I'm having a look again. No, I don't think so, really. I think alliteration can actually invigorate or give energy, nervous and positive energy to a poem, and here there's a complete absence of that, because actually we're describing in quite a resigned way this passing of this person who's fading away. And with that, I think we have quite a melancholy sentence structure here. There's enjambment in 3 instances. We're forced to read on, we're not allowed to stop. It's almost like we're in a decline, just like this person's life is in a decline as well. So rhyme and rhythm, not really a great deal of rhyme, although there is some. It's quite subtle. We've got this idea, until this morning and this snow, if anything might rouse him now, the kind old sun will know. And then we have the star and stir rhyme there. So we've got quite a gentle rhyme scheme, couple of half rhymes in there, but not a complete rhymes. It's almost written in prose. It's not, but it's almost written in prose, and I think in a way that's because Wilfred Owen perhaps wanted to write in quite a naturalistic way, to actually perhaps express that, this did happen, this does happen, this is happening all the time. This one soldier shares the fate of many, many, many others. And so then finally the structure. 2 stanzas. We have the description of how the sun always used to wake this person. Always, gently its touch awoke him. So there's almost a little bit of hope that moving this soldier into the sun will help him, will revive him. And then that hope is dashed actually by the second stanza. The futility of the situation is emphasised. This person will not wake up. Are limbs so dear achieved, too hard to stir? Well, yes, they are, because he's passed away, he's died. And it's almost destroying that idea, destroying that hope. Okay, thanks.